Guys, Deluded Gouda YouTube's N'Golo Kante. In line with documenting the journey, I've just been sitting here making other vids, and I've had some other thoughts, so I thought, let me make it into a vid. If I've given you quality content, thank you very much. If I've waffled, apologies, man. Before I start, people keep saying I don't mention my socials enough. Deluded Guna 04 from Snapchat to Facebook to Instagram. That's the name. Deluded Guna 04. D Guna 04 on Snapchat. That's it. But yeah, man, dealing with doubt slash self-belief, now that could be classed as the doubters around you, self-doubt, like I've already said, all of these sort of things. You have to have, whether it's in this YouTube thing like I'm telling you, whether it's in football, as football players, anything in life, anything from school to being a lawyer, you have to have self-belief. If you don't believe, as a lawyer, if you don't believe you can successfully defend a client, guilty or not, you're not going to have a chance. You're not going to stand a chance if you don't believe it. If you don't believe you can work in Sainsbury's. If you don't believe you can work on a counter, you can't work in customer service, or you can't be taught to that. Dealing with self-doubt, of course, it's not just other people telling you doubt. There's inner doubts. Like, I look at myself. I have a lot of self-doubt. I've told you guys it's a bit weird, but I try to make a point of at least 10 minutes every day when I wake up and go to sleep. I look at myself in the mirror, ask myself, what have I done today? Would I be happy with myself in 10 years? Am I good enough for what am I doing? I'd like to reevaluate the course of what I'm doing, because you can become disillusioned, especially with this YouTube thing. So you need to remember, I always have self-doubt. Some doubts include, am I good enough to get anywhere in life and in YouTube? Is my content good enough? Am I talking nonsense? Do these people really care? Can I crack this? All of these sort of things. All of these. So are you good enough? And then you have the usual connotations of self-doubt, but you've got to be able to put them to the side, to be honest with you, and persevere, man, because you have to be the first person to conceive you're good enough before anyone else. Like, the reason I'm not gassing up this platform, and I'm very happy I've got a relatively decent following and platform where I can interact with you guys, and we've got this thing going finally after years. But those of you that were there for 100 subs and things, remember when I used to go crazy putting these links on other vids, atting people where it looked like spam on YouTube, all of these things? Why? Because I was the first person to conceive in my head that I might be able to get somewhere with YouTube, or somewhere, or create some sort of platform or some sort of show or something in it. I had to be the first to conceive that, and then other people obviously hit the subscribe button and say, okay, he might know what he's talking about. I had to believe that I could speak football. Why? Because of all I've known is football. I've been good at stuff, and I wasn't great at football, but I'm great at learning about football. I'm great at finding out certain things. I love ball. I knew that. So I knew maybe to a degree other people would see that and recognize you're all here because you recognize this. So I had to believe this. Like Henri says, if you don't believe you can be in the room, then you've already answered your question. Yeah. So that's a big thing. Perseverance, like Wenger says, I've said this before. A very underrated aspect is perseverance in life. Now, Wenger does need to call it a day at Arsenal, but perseverance, let's look at it. He believes he can win the league. From a motivational point of view, that's very good stuff, because the world is telling him he's not good enough. As much as I love Wenger, I'm saying he should step down, but he still believes. Now, whether we believe he needs to step down or not, that's a good example. Like, imagine I stopped at 100 or 200 or 300 subscribers. Imagine I stopped. We wouldn't be here today, would we? So you just imagine I listened to every comment that said, oh, you're crap, oh, look at this, look at that, you this ain't this guy or this guy, this is crap, etc., etc., this is shit, you don't know what you're talking about. Personal attacks on my looks and all of these sort of things, and personal attacks on the status of my subscribers and things like that. Imagine I gave it a day and listened to every idiot self-doubt, and to a degree they do get to me at times, of course, which leads into self-doubt. I'm not perfect, but imagine you listen to that. You keep going. You have to keep going. It gets hard. Life is a game of inches. It is a game of inches. So it's about strategically positioning yourself. And that's what I'm trying to do with this YouTube stuff. Because I'm telling you, the digital revolution within the next 10 years is coming. I'm only 22, and I don't know a lot of stuff about life. And I have experienced a lot. In fact, I do know quite a few things about life, because I'm very mature. But one thing I do know is that this future is going digital. So if we look at that, and Sky Sports and all of these things, and the world is going digital, there's got to be someone to talk about football there, right? So position yourself. Not only that, strategic positioning. Jose Mourinho, the special one, gasses himself, etc. But he was once a translator. He was once a translator, strategically positioned himself, being surrounded by elites where he could gain knowledge, gain insight, and eventually strike and become king one day. Yeah, so this is how you deal with self-doubt. Reinventing yourself. When you have that self-doubt, reinventing yourself. How do we go from here? I've reinvented myself several times. How my very first video looks when I'm sitting on the bed is not how this looks. And in 10 years from now, hopefully it's a mad thing from now. So you get it. Like Ferguson, every 3 years he reinvented himself. Pep Guardiola reinvented himself. He learned about chess. He's had meetings with chess players to learn about chess moves. How he played at Munich and Barca and City, obviously there's the same foundations, but they play differently. Reinvented himself. La Masia, very much Barcelona. I'm using the homegrown talents as well as what he's doing. City, of course, there's homegrown talents, and he's played Foden, but you get the point. Reinventing himself. And if we use myself, like I said, my first videos were not the same as this. Then you started to see previews. You started to see videos almost every day. I used to skip out some games and review. Now I try, without fail, if I can, review every game. You see duds of the week, team of the week, Q&As, all of these sort of things. This is how you deal with self-doubt. And my message to anyone, whether it's YouTube, rap, anything, any passion you have, any dream you have, don't let no one tell you can't do it, man. Don't let no one you can't do it. The world is going to tell you can't do it. Hell, you yourself are going to tell yourself at times you can't do it. But keep pushing. Because once you refuse to bend, refuse to break, refuse to lose, yeah, it will take time. Yeah, they can wound you. Yeah, the progress will be slow. And they might temporarily halt you. But if you refuse to lose and you're always in the game, eventually, by God's grace, you'll win. And that's my message, and that's what I try and bring out. And that's what I really mean by the YouTube and N'Golo Kante work rate. I can't cover everything, but what I can cover is a lot of stuff. So yeah, man. Before the vid cuts out, guys, Deluded Gooner, I'm signing out. Thank you very much for listening. I sound like I'm preaching. I ain't with that motivational speaking stuff, but yeah, Deluded, I'm out.